Hey there, it's Coach G. Are you ready for today's workout? Today we're going specific. We're going to focus on our shoulders and our arms and our abs. I want you to pick a little bit lighter weights than maybe you normally use, especially if you're just getting started or if you're restarting. Again, we want to limit the chance that you get any injury at all, and our shoulders are very delicate. But we're going to focus on our back muscles, on all our supporting muscles for our shoulders to keep us nice and strong and limber. And then we're going to challenge ourselves with some ab exercises at the end. So if you're ready, make sure you've warmed up and let's get started. We've got 3 rounds, 6 exercises in total. We're doing 8 reps in each exercise. Our first exercise is our lateral raise. We're working our deltoids here. So I've got a tube resistance band. You can use a TheraBand. TheraBand's a little bit harder. You kind of want something with handles, or you can absolutely use dumbbells. Even water bottles works for this one. So the key to this one is that I'm going to keep my hands like this. I'm going to keep my wrists neutral at all times, and I only want to come up as high as my shoulder. The other important part of this exercise is I'm leading with my elbows, not with my hands. I'm not trying to pull my hand up like this. I'm actually thinking about maybe if you were pouring a jug of water, right? If I was pouring someone a glass of water, my elbow leads the movement, and that's what we want in the lateral raise. From there, we're going to a band pull apart, and that you can use the same band that you're using. I've got a super band here, so it really depends on what you've got available to you and what's going to work best for you today. But if you're ready, here we go with our lateral raise. So here we go for 8. I'm only coming up to shoulder height, thinking about leading with my elbows. There's a slight bend, there's a slight angle to my elbow. It's not an L by any stretch. Exhaling as I come up and down. You're going to feel that in your shoulders. From there, we're going to switch. I'm going to swap to my super band here. For this one, the amount of resistance is about how much band you have in the middle. If you need more resistance, you come a little tighter. Otherwise, you're further apart. I want you to hold with a supinated grip. So I want your wrists up, and all we're going to do is we're going to pull back and come forward. Back. If we were training together in person, I'd come and I'd put my finger in the middle of your back. And I want you to wrap those shoulder blades around my finger or a pencil or whatever. You want to be retracting those shoulder blades in that movement. That's really all there is to this set of exercises. So if you're ready, let's go into the second set of our first round. Now, ask your body for feedback. Again, because our shoulders are delicate, and if you're new or restarting, I want you to be very careful. Ask your body for feedback. Shoulders are a bit tricky. You may not feel this until after. My recommendation is to stay light, and that way you stay strong. Again, if it's too much for you, 1 foot in the band is fine. And if you need a little bit more, you can widen your legs a little bit and get a bit more resistance. If you have enough resistance, if your arm's coming way up here, you need more resistance, right? We need to challenge yourself a little bit more. Soft knees, pelvis is tucked in, core is engaged. Here we go. Leading with the elbows. And down. Changing. I'm going to use this band just to show you the difference. Again, if I was just using the same band that I had, I just choke up, figure out what a good resistance is for me. So you may have to play with it a little bit. Again, toes are pointing forward while we're standing nice and strong. And we're going to pull. Now I need a bit more resistance. But I really like the resistance band for this exercise because you're not only getting resistance as you're pulling away, you also have to control the movement as it's coming back. So you're not snapping back. All right, one more set here. Today's a quick workout. I'm going to stand at a bit of an angle so you can see more what my elbows are doing in the lateral raise. So again, shoulders are back and down. Always nice, tall posture. We're not arching our back. Nothing's happening here. Pelvis is tucked in. We're ready to go. Here we go. There we go. You might be starting to feel a bit of a burn in your shoulders. I know I am. I'm going to swap back to my super band for this last set. Try and find a good resistance. The other thing with super band is feel free to just use one, right? Boop. A coordination problem there. All right, here we go for 8. You can see that the super band is giving me the proper amount of resistance because my arms aren't swinging the way they were when I was using my tube band. I have to focus more on controlling the movement. And again, make sure that your elbows are solid but not locked out. All right. Whew. I'll feel that later. All right. Okay. I'm going to take a minute here. You can do a little bit of dynamic stretching. You know, you may feel, okay, I'm feeling a burn, so I want to do a static stretch. No, you want to do a bit of dynamic movement, so you can kind of, you know, just do a bit of a cross body hug here. We always save our static stretching for our cool downs. And I know I've got a couple cool downs on the video on my channel, but we're going to add a few more in the next coming days and some specific mobility for some of these workouts so that you're nice and ready to work along with me. All right, our next set is working our biceps and our triceps next round. So what I've done is I have dumbbells and I have a band. You can do the exercises with a weight or with a band. You can even do it with something heavy that you have in your house. So maybe if you're just getting started, maybe it's water bottles. The overhead tricep extension, which is the exercise I'm about to show you. You can even do it with, you know, a heavy water bottle. Like I've got my 2-liter bottle here. I could do with this if I wanted. You know, a jug of vinegar or a detergent, they're about 10 pounds. I actually put it on a scale to see what that was going to be like. So, you know, have a scavenger hunt and see what you've got. For the overhead tricep extension, again, we work with what we have. This is how to do it with a band. And it takes a little while to get used to. If you have a door anchor, there's a great modification for this. I'm going to do it in a YouTube short and it'll be up on the channel in a day or two. But for today, this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to put our heel in our band, and we're going to have a staggered stance. So again, you can go wherever you need to go to get balance. Now I'm going to pull this up behind me. Now it's pretty tight if I'm holding the handle as one. I almost forgot. This is important. I have clipped both ends to one handle. I've done that on purpose. I've done it. You can use two handles, but what I find then is if there is any imbalance in strength between your two sides, that you're struggling to kind of keep your hands together. So to make it easier, you can use one handle. It's a little bit of a trick, but you can get it. So put my foot in. Coordination is key here. But instead of holding the handle, I'm going to hold the two sides. So I'm going to start with the handle. I'm going to come to my two sides. Now, the most important thing to remember in this exercise is we're keeping our elbows close to our ears. And we're driving straight up. Our triceps as women are one of the weakest muscles in our body, and so you don't need to go real heavy on this. The next round, or the next set, I'm going to show you how to do it with a dumbbell. So that's exercise 1. Exercise 2 is what's called a Zottman curl. And what we're doing is we're challenging different parts of our bicep. If you think of a bicep, the word bi means two. So there's two main muscles in our biceps. So I've gone back to my regular tube band. Again, dumbbells. Super band is a bit tough on this one. I kind of like a handle to be able to turn around. So again, soft knees, pelvis is tucked, shoulders back and down. I'm coming up. I'm going to rotate and go back down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, here you go. You've gotten through the first set. So just take a sec, reset, check in with your shoulders, see if you need to adjust anything, and we're going to start set 2. All right, for this set, I'm going to use a dumbbell. The other thing that you may want to do is do this seated. The reason I'm telling you to do that is if you're finding that your back is swaying and you're having a hard time staying stable, the mere act of sitting on the chair helps to stabilize you and kind of keep the back from getting that sway and causing any problems to your lower back. So I'm going to stand. I'm going to find my nice, solid, form position. I'm going to lift this up over my head. I'm going to keep these elbows tucked. When I drop, I want that weight to drop below my head, and I'm going to extend straight up. So here we go. There we go. All right. And in the next exercise, I'm also going to do my Zottman curls with dumbbells as well. So again, start with the palms facing out. Come up in our traditional bicep curl. Turn, down, switch, up, twist, down, reset. 3, rotate. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Ooh. You're going to want to do a really good cool down stretch when you're done. You're going to want to make sure that you're stretching all of these muscles out because we're really fatiguing them today because this is a very body specific exercise in this particular case. We're really focusing on that upper body. All right, 1 set left. I'll go back to the band. I'll go into my other leg for you. So, leg that has the band is back. And you're going to have to pull it around. That to me is almost the hardest part of the exercise. Get yourself set. Again, you can have a soft knee here. You don't want to be locked out. Make sure those elbows are facing right towards me here. And here we go. Keep your spine neutral and your neck neutral. And drop. I'll go back to the band for the Zotten curl. My preference is a dumbbell, but that's my personal preference, and you work with what you have. I just find sometimes the bands are awkward to get the moves in. I'm also going to choke up on the bands a little bit, which means I'm going to take my feet a bit wider. What happens with two bands is after a while, they get a bit stretched out and you don't get as much resistance as you had when you first bought them. All right, here we go for 8. There we go. Nice done. Nicely done, everyone. Good job. All right. We have 1 round left. It's all about our abs. So take a second here. Get yourself reset. Grab a drink of water. Give yourself a bit of a shoulder roll. And I'll meet you back here at the mat. Okay. For this final round, we are focusing on our core. We are focusing on ab work. Now, we are going to be doing a very common pairing of exercises. We're going to do a bird dog, and then we're going to flip over and do a dead bug. They are very foundational core movements, challenge our balance, challenge our rotation, and help to get us stronger. I'm going to show you a few variations as we go, so let's get started. Okay, for the bird dog, we are starting in a tabletop position. So walk your hands out, spread your fingers nice and wide for balance, and you are looking at, is my weight distributed evenly and are my shoulders stacked over my wrists? We're not dropping down here and we're not up here. We've got a nice neutral spine. The easiest way to make sure that is just kind of pull that pelvis in a little, and that'll keep you at neutral. Then what I want you to do is I want you to think about taking one arm. I'm going to start with my left arm and my right leg, and I'm going to stretch out as far as I can, and I'm going to return to normal. We're going to do that on this side for 8. Really stretch. And one more. You can alternate your legs if you want. I'm really trying to get you to get the feel of the movement. So I'm doing all of our reps today on one side. All right, make sure you reset. Always reset after an exercise. You may have shifted, you're a little bit tired. I'm looking straight down, so I've got a right nice neutral neck, top part of my spine, and I'm going on the other side. This is a controlled movement, so do not feel like you want to rush through it. Great. Back your hands to your knees. That's your bird dog. The real challenge is keeping your hips stable, pulling that belly button in, stabilizing your whole core set. Now we're going to roll over and we're going to do our dead bug. for a dead bug. Make sure that you're pressing that lower back. You're not arching, right? And your knees are coming up so you're nice at a 90 tabletop. And your arms are up. Now, again, I'm going to show you a variety of variations of this. But again, to get the coordination, we're going to do one side at a time. So I'm going to drop my right arm and my left leg. So we're stretching out, pausing, coming back up. Drop. Give your body a second to reset. Up. Make sure you're at 90. And now we're going to do the other side. Really stretch. And down. Whew. All right. That's some of the hardest work you're ever going to do on the mat laying down. You really need to engage that core and control those movements. Doing a dead bug fast is not giving you the benefit of the exercise. So let's go into our second set, bird dog, and I'm going to show you a variation. We're going to stay on our sides, on the same side, just for today. And again, check in with yourself. Are my shoulders over my wrists? Are my shoulders engaged? Core is engaged. The spine is neutral. So now, this time, I'm going to stretch out. And I'm going to come back and tap. Stabilizing everything as we go. And reset, make sure everything is where it needs to be. And here we go for 8. Good work. Adding that a little bit of extra movement is more of a challenge to keep your hips stable and keep your core engaged. So again, check in with yourself. Let your body give you the feedback that you need to know where you need to start or where you need to progress to. Let's roll over and do our dead bug. So for this one, I have a little bit of an exercise ball. You can use a blender Pilates ball if you want. You can use a stability ball. Today I want to work on just a smaller ball. So I am going to bring my knees up. Oops, hang on. I gotta figure my hands out here. There we go. All right. And I'm just gonna push the ball into my knee. As we go down. Drop. Now, the ball doesn't really need to have any weight in it. Even like a playground ball is fine. It's more about that resistance and that stabilization pushing against your knee. So knees up, my hand in position, See, I got the coordination figured out this time. Maintaining that tension between the upper knee and your arm. And down. Again, you're just adding little incremental elements that are increasing the challenge for you. And no matter where you are today, that's okay. All right, we're going to reset. We're going to do this one more time, and we're done for the day. Okay, for this last set, I'm going to go back to a traditional, but I am going to alternate this time. So make sure that, if you're a coffee drinker, you got your coffee and that you're paying attention. This is the one that, sometimes I get confused between my arms and my legs. But we're going to try alternating and see if we can do it without swaying our hips. Here we go. Nice and long. Bringing your belly button in. That helps to stabilize your entire core. It activates it. That's what the word engaging means. All right. How was your last bird dog? One more dead bug. Or as one of my clients likes to say, should be dead bug. So let's switch around. I'm just trying to think of one more to show you, but I think we'll go back to a traditional move, but we're going to alternate. So again, arms are straight up. You can have a light weight in your hand if you want, but at this point, I would say it's more about making sure you have that form, that back is pushed down and that you're where you're supposed to be. So we're going to alternate this time. This is one of the tricky ones. Ready? Here we go. Watch that back stays pushed into the floor if you're getting tired. Reset at the top each time. And slowly lower and down. Now, bring your knees to the side. Let your shoulders follow. Push yourself up slowly. And you're done. Great work today. Make sure that you stretch. That is so important. You've worked some muscles that maybe you don't work all the time, and you're really going to have something called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. You're going to feel it the next day. In 24 hours, you're really going to feel it in about 48. So you want to stretch. That helps to minimize it. You'll feel much better, and you'll recover faster, and you'll be ready for the next workout, and I will see you there.